HSAs or health savings accounts. Today I'm going to talk about some strategies and some tips and tricks and some things worth noting with them. So HSAs are generally only offered if you have a high deductible insurance at work, not a PPO. Now a lot of employers offer both, in which case you can choose. Depending on your circumstances, it's a very personal decision. I happen to like the high deductible plans, and I love the HSA vehicle. So how do they work? Basically, dollars go in them pre-tax. Anything that grows on them grows tax-free, and when you pull out, all the dollars come out tax-free. It's like an IRA and a Roth combined. So first tip, max them out, baby. Max them out every year. This year, if you're single, it's $3,700. If you're married and on a family plan, it's $7,400. Again, if you and your spouse each have your own plan, you can each do the individual, not the family. And if you're 55 or older, you get an extra $1,000 that you can do. So max them out. It's by far the best dollars you can put away, and you will certainly have medical expenses down the road. Next, invest. Most HSA plans, and if yours doesn't, you can search out one that does, has a investment vehicle, mutual funds, ETFs, things of that nature that you can buy within your health savings account, within your HSA. So when you're investing in them, when you're doing it, don't leave them in cash, because you'll have dollars that are left behind and not maximizing the triple tax benefit that you get in an HSA, which to my knowledge is the only vehicle out there that gives the triple tax benefit. Next, HSA withdrawals. So here's a somewhat controversial one and also a really interesting strategy. One is that you can, when you pull out money from an HSA, you have to have a medical bill that is equal to that amount. So if I pulled out $1,000 this year, I have to show that I had $1,000 of expenses. The interesting thing is you do not have to have those expenses, or let me rephrase that. You can pull the money out anytime after the expenses happen. So they don't have to be in the same calendar year. Why and how can that benefit? Well, that can benefit because you can save receipts. So if I'm 40 today and I save all my medical receipts over the next 20 years, let's say, and I pay them out of pocket. In 20 years from now, if I have $100,000 in medical expense and this money is compounded tax-free in my HSA, I could pull all that money out in retirement, live off it, tax-free. I just have to match it up with medical expenses. This is one of the best strategies out there when it comes to the HSA, if you're so inclined. Again, it's not for everyone, but it's a great way to really benefit from the tax-free component of the HSA. Next, see if you have an employer match. A lot of employers won't match some funds or put funds in there if you either contribute or sometimes even if you don't. One important thing to note is the match, unlike your 401k, comes against your maximum that you can contribute. So if you're in a single plan at $3,700 and your employer gives you $1,500, you can't put $3,700 more dollars in. You have to take the $1,500 off the $3,700, and $2,200 is your number. Next, Medicare. So you can actually use HSA dollars, most people don't realize, for Medicare. Now, only Part B and D, so you can't use it for the other components of Medicare, but you can use it on Medicare and retiree medical expenses. The average person has $375,000 of recurring or ongoing medical expense in retirement. Finally, or last two, I should say, HSA for estate planning. So husband or wife works, the other spouse doesn't. That person passes away with a big HSA account. You could pass those benefits to your spouse. They get the same benefits and can take on your HSA and use it for themselves. And then finally, there are no RMDs when it comes to your HSA. So you can use it. Let's say you have $500,000 in there at retirement. You could take out a little bit each year, as long as you save those medical expenses or have them ongoing. And it can help subsidize your retirement nicely with tax-free dollars. So you can do some tax arbitrage in retirement and pick and pull where you're pulling funds to meet your expenses and keeping your tax rate low. So there you have it. There are my recommendations, some tips, some tricks, and some tips when it comes to the HSA account. Hope you like them. I'm Andrew Rosen. Stay wealthy, stay healthy, and stay happy.